Hey guys, it's Resgrio here, and we're going to be playing around in creative mode on Pixark here. The update's going to patch after I do this, so there may be some changes, but as of now, these are some general realizations. I've hit the structure placement limit on the saddle, and this seems to be just about as far as you can get away in a circle, so it'll sort of zigzag around the way you make a circle out of pixels. Height limit, I think it was about 40 off the platform before you get away. These turrets, the both ballistas, we have here. You stay still. We have the catapult turret, and then also in addition to that, auto turrets cannot place at all. They learned their lesson on that one. We also have the cannon in here, which I haven't tried yet, which can indeed be placed. That is going to be devastating. However, I don't believe the item's been put in the actual game yet. I think it's only in creative for the cannon. But we're going to be taking a look here. I suppose it doesn't matter which way it places as long as it places. Trying to be as space conservative as possible because you can sort of nudge some of these over the edge and maybe I can get a second one somehow. Yeah, no, there's no way. So hold E to display aiming options. That's interesting. So you don't mount this turret, it simply is. Okay. So it should just absolutely demolish that. Well, I don't know, we'll see how much damage it does to fire. Let's see. Ooh, that did 1,700 damage off of this cannon. There's a repair cooldown. So you have to load individual cannonballs into the cannon and then fire. That's at 2,600. Oh, it's hitting itself. That's an AoE, I think. Perhaps, maybe not. Maybe it just burns itself out and you have to fix it before you continue using it. So you can rotate it around and sort of have it face whichever way you want, which is going to be amazing on a Quetz. Let's see if we can... You know what, I'm just going to destroy this stuff. This was just me testing if I could have a place to stand and put like storage while also still fitting 3 or 4. I couldn't find a way to get some of our foundations and platform, or some of our foundations and walls with all 4 turrets because it would take up a little of this space, so... Oop, too far. It's very slippery when you're flying. So I wasn't able to place walls when there's a catapult turret sticking out. The catapult turret's manned, and it does a small but respectable amount. I think it's 200 damage every second that you could fire out with this bad boy. That sounded terrible, but I stand by it. So let me land on my feet here. Mount catapult turret. Let's see, I'll fuck this other catapult up. Defeated a Pteranodon. Whoops. Well, I absolutely destroyed what I was sitting into. And that seems to be actually an issue that's probably going to come up with this, is accidentally hitting an object next to you and splashing. So let's get these out of the way and see what we can do with this cannon in terms of... That is very tedious. Oh, that's as far right as we can get. Actually, I could just... So on these also, you can't float any blocks like you can in the rest of the game. So none of the usual tricks work of, you know, putting something in place, then putting something on top of that, and then taking the thing below it. That works on the ground. It does not work on platforms. They need to have some connection to the actual... What was this damage on the splash? See, these foundations didn't give a shit. I wonder if it's not just raw HP damage, it's actual... actual damage resistance too, in addition to just raw numbers. Because not only do these foundations have a lot of health, but I feel like they reduce incoming damage by a certain amount or percentage. Let's move down and see if I can blast that a little out of the way. Yeah, you're going to want these facing the direction they're sticking out of. Because that's nasty. Alright, so we hit E to fire. That should have hit this. Oh, there we go. That's down to 16,000. That must have been the one that it hit. So it hits a main target and does negligible amounts of damage to its surroundings. Because that's a good amount of damage. Now a couple popular tricks obviously aren't going to work here. For example, you can't make a building of only foundations, because again, you can't float blocks, and that's the whole trick behind it. This was my attempt at prototyping sort of quick cage. Probably would want to enclose it for other players not to interfere, but for the most part, if you're up and about, then you're really not going to want to have to worry about it. This is where I was going to place ballistas, but again, as you can see here on the ceilings, and it's the same thing when you're on foundation or wall, any placed surface, you just can't snap them on. Just slides around, same thing. The bottom of this is foundation, and it gives the same error message. It would just say obstruction if it could snap here. Regular blocks you can place these turrets on. So that's the gist of what I got so far. The heavy ballista turrets seem to be really relevant for taming. So if there is a way for you to make a cage like this, and also have like a heavy ballista turret pointing inwards, I was going to think maybe of a way to do that, because that's for tranquilization. So yeah, here there. Magic ballista bolts. I'm not sure if this is in the more normal game or not. Bolt. Probably under magic or industrial. Metallurgy. Yeah, metallurgy. Pretty costly. It takes the thunderstones, it takes magic cores and silver. This is probably going to be what all those silver veins that have just been there and around are finally going to be used for. I gave up on this quest for the time being because I was going to do the whole wing with shooting, but who knows. Yeah, see the spots further out, you notice when I demolished that, the whole wing disappeared. It seems like they're really unstable in terms of structural integrity. It seems like however it calculates how much structural integrity it has compared to where the nearest foundation is very disarmed by the fact that it's on the platform. It operates a lot more like Ark did and a lot less like Minecraft does. So it seems like Quetz building is really going to be where our block placement and the choice of which block matters. Because all this is ceilings and walls. The only foundation I have is the bottom layer. So the placement of each one of these things is going to have to be very intent. Let me just stick any old gate here. See how much HP on the volcanic rock gate. Come on, he's nudging, I'm nudging, it's a bad time. Hard to land straight. Let me just land on the actual ground. There we go. So this door is 36,000 HP. Whew. 6, 12, 34, 16. So that is the sum of 6 of the walls. And yeah, it's a very tanky door. I actually entered creative mode to compare some of the durabilities. I'm at level 75 on my main server, or right before 75. So I came here to just test some stuff out, but I realized compared to the last time I tested that you can do a lot more with the quets than I thought. So these ceilings are really how you're going to like jut outwards. Foundation really is stuck parallel or vertical. You're stuck vertical to where you are starting. So the platform is here. You can only go vertically upwards. There's no way to go sideways. Ceilings are the only way to go out sideways, and once you go out with the ceiling, you can only continue going out to wall. So once again, this is really the only spot you're going to see foundation on, unfortunately. And that's just because of how structural stability works. Let's see, do I have any more stairs? I want to see if it was possible to like make a link of chairs here, or stairs. No, it won't snap off of the off of that edge. It just doesn't want to stick out from the platform. I made stairs going up from inside the cage to here, and you can make stairs with wraparound ceilings. You need to place a ceiling on top of a wall. So you'll notice the diamond-shaped ones are the ceilings, and so I put a ceiling on top of the wall, staggered them upwards as stairs, and then I wrap them around since, again, walls can go sideways. So there's a lot of interesting things you can do on the Quetzalcoatl. Let's see, as far as height goes, you have the same limitation as outwards, I think, which seems to be I'd guesstimate 40 or 50 blocks from the actual foundation. It's significantly high. Yeah, it actually says too high above the platform. What the heck? Classic early access. Yeah, and if you destroy the bottom, this whole thing goes down because of structural integrity. So yeah, there's a lot of things you could do. I'm interested to see how things work and what people do with this. I already have some ideas of things I want to test myself. For example, there's the shield generator item, the elemental magic shield, that effectively stops any of the non-HP blocks from being broken in the vicinity. Does that? Yes, it does place. So you could effectively have a roving shield that will stop any of the blocks in the barrier from being broken. And you can stagger these to be alternating for when the cooldowns run out. I'm sort of rambling here, but yeah, there's a lot of cool things you can do for both offense and defense in PvP, and even in PvE, you could make some very interesting things with taming. Another fun thing about the game right now is that units kind of collide in a silly way. So you can have these kind of just doing a little Congo line. I don't even know how many there are. These are powered by magic stones. So I'm just going to spawn in a bunch of magic stone here. We'll go with earth. I don't even know what earth is really useful for yet. Wind is for sleepy arrows now. Thunder's for making the bolts. Dark is for making these generators. And light, I think, might have a piece in the unicorn horn. So yeah. Let's slide this in. Oops, same one. And slide to the right one. There we go. I tried, they don't take power cores, sadly, because that would be a much nicer use of that resource in excess. I know we just figured out the ballista ball takes that, but... So you activate this. Hold E for more options. Oh, does it know it's on a platform? Will it not? Or is it just because they're inside of each other? Let's break this middle one. Let's see how that goes. Or maybe that's not the... Oh, I didn't put it in the fuel slot. Do I have to... Okay, cool. Oh, it wants dark magic stones only. That's different from before. Let's see all the different magic stones and see what it takes, because that, in the last patch, they must have changed that. We'll just put them at units of 50. So, won't take that as a... let's take this off. It'll take water, wind, thunder, fire, light, and not earth. Literally the only one it's not interested in is the one we want to try and get rid of. That's hilarious. So I guess I'll get rid of water since there's so many veins. That would be how I would do it in the control game, and the shield is turned on. So within this bubble area, you'll see here, watch me try and mine. Nothing. Can't break it. So someone informed me on Reddit when I was looking around. Apparently, the cooldown reduces. Yeah, so left time, 975, 974, 973. That's how much time's left, and then when it's done, the cooldown will show. The interesting part here is that, watch, we're at 500 and just about 60. So let's try and see if this is true. I'm going to mine for a few seconds here and pretty much effectively do what would have broken a lot of blocks. Just going to dig around, dig around, dig around, dig around, dig around, dig around, dig around. Because I think this happened to me. I used the shield generators to defend my first base. By the time we were raided on the other server, we already had a second base, but we lost our first base. However, we... oh? No, maybe it's because I'm in the same... yeah, those can be damaged. Any HP objects can be damaged inside the shield generator. 18, 17, 16, 15... yeah. So, blah, 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 blah. Let's just say the timer runs down to 0. So now we look back and it's stacked on itself, so we can't read the cooldown. Let's take out the fuel maybe. Oh, it won't go on to cooldown when you turn it off anymore. They fixed that. Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's a hefty cooldown. That's 3,600 seconds, which is a lot more than it cooled down when I let it run before. I don't know why. I think maybe turning it off early is a contributing factor. So that's a full-on hour of cooldown. So the 600 seconds that it would have ran would have been 10 minutes. So you need, if it goes to 3,600 again, you need 6 of them to alternate to make an area. See, this says 30,000 left energy. So I'm wondering if the crystal you use determines the cooldown. Let's see, that goes on 1,800. You use wind in this one. 2,000, that's at 3,000. So it likes the dark crystals. 2,400. Yeah, it really likes those dark crystals. Let's get another one here, because I haven't just tested the other stone. Just make a whole bunch of them here. Now, I can imagine a lot of applications for this. You could make a particular pit that you climb into when you want to take cover. And with the shield generators on, they wouldn't be able to destroy the sides of the pits while it's inside your effect. So yeah, let's just go nuts here. I already have a good idea of how I want to make the taming quet, so I don't really care about messing this one up. So let's see, fire. We didn't try fire yet. Fire is 2,000 energy, so that means 2,400. Light crystal. I think light's going to do well. That's just my guess. Yeah, 3,000 energy, so that means an hour cooldown? Is this just because... No, no, that's a whole 1,000 seconds difference. I'm wondering what the condition is for the cooldown then. Yeah, you can't use those as a fuel. I don't know what's supposed to go down on the bottom either. Is that just reserve fuel? Alright, so let's spawn some more fuel in and see what the other effects are. We'll grab a bunch more dark because it seems to like that. I think we're just going to test different variables of dark, but we'll grab more from the others since weight is all I maxed on this character when I auto-spawn the levels. I think thunder might be a good one too. Thunder has 20,000 energy, is that right? Is that just because I placed more in there? Is it 100? Yeah, and as you can see, you can't drop. Everything else still works though. You can still place, you can still fight. It doesn't protect your creatures, I don't think. Let's see. Yeah, no, that doesn't protect jack or shit. Okay. So yeah. I'd imagine like a situation where you could make like a big square just out of rocks and just drop in the center and just have your shield generators on with someone in the back managing your shields. I'm an idiot. I didn't even think of... Oh, wait. No, that might not work. Let's see. Can you place rocks on the... I had a problem before. You can't place the natural ground blocks on the crafted structures on it. But I'm wondering if it's like the cannons where you can place them on the... Where's my other Quetz? Did I kill him? Did he take a journey? What's... If I don't see him in a second, I'm just going to spawn another one in because it didn't have anything much on it. It was just a platform and some of the turrets on its back. Yeah, I know where the heck it went. Alright, so let's make another Quetz up here. I wish in this mode they'd let us... Well, for one, the toggles are kind of annoying because you still can't search right. You type in words, you hit enter. There's no... Maybe you click that. No. So there's no way to really filter by search, which I love the search features they put on everything else, so I wish that wasn't inconsistent. So there's our female Quetzal. I push the tame button in creative. Have her follow me so she doesn't run off a million miles. Or he, who knows. Saddle, items, platform. You see, it's so nice having the, just boom. Type in a few of the starting letters. Sad for saddle. And alright, we got a platform saddle. Let's get on its back. Ah, no, I cannot place rocks. It's doing the same thing. It's not giving me my placement indicator. I wonder if maybe there's some kind of block that they forgot to code, perhaps, that isn't a structure but isn't rock and will let you place. But it seems like they were pretty thorough in how they set their permissions on that. So I'm not going to run the video longer doing that. I'll just leave that to other inquisitive minds out there to try and solve. But yeah, if you guys can think of any interesting ideas or defenses, leave your design in the comments, and I might try and give some of them a whack. Or message me. I don't know if I'm just posting it to my Discord friends or if I'm actually posting it online. I'll think about it. But I mean, that's my immediate assessment of Quetzes and all the things you can do in this game. Compared to Ark, the creativity in this that you can use in designing what customized thing you want your Quetz to do is going to be vastly different. And the amount of ways that you can outfit your Quetz and pretty much ensure that it's battle ready or tame ready, or even if you just like want to make a little house on there, because I believe you can make beds on there too. That'll be our final confirm before I stop recording. Let's see. First we'll check on foundation, because that's the instinctive. Yep, you can place beds. I'm going to go with the bunk bed, since that's the really fast respawn bed. Cool, we got a little bunk bed in there. You can put storage in here, and boom, you have a roaming house on a back. You're a roaming target, granted, but, oh, you can't exploit the volcanic boxes. That's fine, you can't put vaults in there, that's for sure. I don't know if I tested that before the video or after, but you can't place vaults in here, sadly. I don't want to target the quets, I want to target the storage, but maybe every once in a while he feels like stretching and the whole building turns backwards. There we go, let's demolish that. Oh, I can pick it up. I guess the traditional storage bins are actually the way to go then, since they have a placement glitch that lets you stack them. Yeah, just the regular large storage box. You get 3 of them, and then you place 1 standing up and down, and 2 more can fit on either side of it. The quet swaying really makes the placement. Yeah, so there we go. Now instead of spending, let's see, 8 cubic squares, that's 8 cubic squares for 150 storage. That's pretty close to the value of a vault minus toughness. So yeah, you can place beds, you can place storage, you can place walls, foundations, ceilings, a lot of the things you'd think you can place. You can only place the turrets on the actual bare platform, and you cannot place auto turrets. So far, that's what I figured out. If you have any other things for me to test that you don't want to test yourself, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to get in touch with me. We could make something happen with that. Alrighty. We are signing out.